Hey everybody, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Beg Brigade. So, how have y'all been? Oh, it's been kind of a whirlwind around here. Miscommunication left and right. See, I thought that we were going to be moving the 1st of March. But apparently the house ain't exactly done. Or we don't know how far it's done because the people that are going to be renting it to us are so busy with other things, I think the man works like 3 jobs. He runs a bar and then he does DoorDash and some other things, and so being able to do that is difficult. So who knows? But I don't know when we'll move. It may be April. But the good news is we're going to have income tax money to do that with by the end of this week, hopefully. So, so we can get back to packing, because I kind of put a halt to that because I didn't have all my information that I needed. But now I have more information and know a little bit more about it, so we can get back to packing. And everybody's worked out their differences. There was some back and forth on that, but my health has been fairly decent, with the exception of some arthritis aches and pains because of the weather going back and forth. When I was a kid, I messed up my left ankle really bad. It got broken when I was 13. I was on a seesaw with a girl, and I had a bad habit of hooking my ankles together while I was on a seesaw, and she had me in the air, and wasn't paying attention, and I didn't realize that she was gonna get off, and I came straight down on my ankles. I only weighed maybe like 100 pounds. Maybe I was 13, and I come down on that ankle and broke it, and didn't know I broke it. And I only lived across the street from where we were, so I limped home, and unfortunately I was in a situation where no one took me to the doctor, and it healed up like that. And then when I was 16, I was roller skating, and a little boy kind of went under me, and my ankle folded up, and I landed on it. I failed. The way I fell, tried not to fall on the little boy, because he couldn't have been more than 5. And I wasn't fat, but I was solid, and I knew if I landed on him, I would hurt him. And so, and then it swelled up and swelled up, and it hurt for weeks and weeks, and still nobody took me to the doctor. And they just had me propping it up and icing it down, and that's all anyone ever did for me. And then when I was in my late 20s, I actually went to the doctor, and because it was really hurting me, and he took an X-ray of it, and he showed me, and he said, "You see this?" And he said, "That's bone chips." And he said, "You see that other stuff?" He said, "That's calcium deposits, because those bone chips never got dealt with." And he said, "And that's arthritis set up in that thing." He said, "There's zero you can do about that." He said that you're just going to have to learn to live with it, because no one ever dealt with it when you were a kid. So here I am, 48. I'll be 49 in 6 months, 7 months, whatever it is. And it's still, when the weather warms up and summer comes around, it's not such a big deal. But when the weather is back and forth from 30 degrees to 70 degrees to 25 degrees to 50 degrees, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, when it does that, that thing really hurts all the time. Every time I put any kind of weight on it, it's like it's broke all over again. You couple that with lymphedema in both legs, osteoarthritis on my spine, bone spurs on my lower spine, carpal tunnel in both hands and wrists. Don't want to talk about the mental stuff. I got that under control with medication. We won't go there. But at least most of the time I got it under control. When I'm not tripping up on perceptions and not feeling like I have the whole story on stuff. But anyway, now that we got all that out of the way, let's talk about the crochet. That's right. We are not loom knitting at the moment. We are crocheting. Finally, my dream has come true, and I am crocheting. This is what a mama would want to do. Anyway, right now I'm kind of doing my own thing a bit. This is puzzle yarn, Premier puzzle yarn, and this colorway is Checkers. And this poor ball of yarn had been frogged 4 separate times by me. It was going to be a scarf, a loomed scarf on 3 different looms. And then I frogged it again and started crocheting it. And once I got past the damaged yarn, it's been a dream to work with. So this, from about here to here, was the damaged yarn. And then from here to here has been the good stuff, you know. So it's really nice yarn. And you see the color changes. And this is just all double crochet. I just, you know, the single and the double I've got down, and I want to just kind of stick with what I know right now. But this is, I'm going to make like a wrap, like a rectangle wrap. At least that's what it's in my head to do with it. But what I'd like to do is just make a nice wrap. I don't know if I'll put pockets on it or not, but I think I might put some fringe on the bottom here. Put some nice little fringe on the bottom. I got some rust colored yarn, and I'm thinking that would look really nice since it's kind of got some rust colors in it. It's all different reds, but I was worried that I was going to run out, because this is what I have. This is what I'm working with here. Oh goodness, fuzzies. But I was worried I was going to run out, but because I'm kind of barring myself from buying any yarn right now, because we're, you know, holding on to our extra funds, any extra funds we have for the move. So, but then I looked through my handy dandy app on my phone, my yarn stash app, where I did an inventory of all my yarn, and just happens to that I have a really big ball skein of yarn that almost it really closely resembles this Checkers colorway. It's in a loops and threads yarn. I gotta find it. I found it on the app, so I know I have it in my stash. I just gotta find it, and at least I hope I still have it. It's either here or at my mom's, because I pulled some out and give it to my mom, so I'm hoping I still have it here. But my mama hadn't been using any of the stuff I gave her, so if she's got it over there, I can get it back. But it closely resembles this. So when I run out of this, then I will use that. Or if I don't find that for whatever reason, I can switch to a different color, because I have other Premier puzzle yarn that is, I could always switch to one of the other colors and have it, you know, just be, I don't know, a different color, you know, because it's probably going to be for me anyway, because I'm the one that's, you know, this is in my brain what I'm trying to make. You know, it's not from a pattern or anything. I haven't decided if I'm going to try any patterns, but I've been watching tutorial videos like crazy. I just really crazy been watching a lot of tutorials. Tiffany Hansen, I've been watching her tutorials. They're real easy to follow. The Crochet Crowd, he's real easy to follow. Bagel Day Crochet, hers are easy to follow, but some of her stitches, for now, at least, I mean, for now, because my brain only wants to do single crochet, half double, and double crochet. All that crisscrossing and contorting the stitch, this and all that, I'm not ready for any of that. So I'm not trying to that back post and front post and this and that and all that stuff. I'm not ready for any of that right now. I'm just trying to to hone what I do know and do what I can. So these look nice. These stitches look nice. So I'm just trying to, stick to what I like. I did the same thing with my loom knit. I didn't do anything fancy until I was months into it and was comfortable. And then I started doing, fancier stuff. Not pattern stuff, but I create my own looks and stuff like that. And I only ever got up to the owl eye stitch, which is what I did with this blanket behind me that I still haven't done anything else with. But I did just watch a video this evening that I really, really liked, that I'm going to do a baby blanket in. I just got to pull all the yarn, but I don't want to pull it out right now because I'm in the middle of trying to gather stuff and put things away and pack and stuff, but I probably will once I get my room done. And I got everything condensed down to just what we have to do until the other place is ready, because that's what we're dealing with, is for the other place to be ready to move to. Apparently they still have some personal items in that house that need to come out and make sure that's all cleaned up and everything. But that's the hold up apparently. And by the end of this week, we'll have all the funds we need for a new washer and new couches and the moving truck and the deposits for the utilities and things like that. So we just need all the stars to align, and then we can do it. But me and JJ going to work on the rest of the house this week, and we should be able to pull things together this week. We got the kitchen like 90% done, and the living room's about 95% done. Johnny's room is not going to take much because he doesn't have much in there. I'm not even going to think about his room because that's not my problem. But my room is going to take at least 2 days because it's just cluttered with stuff. But anyway, here's this, and I'm working on the scrap blanket. I had all these panels that I sewed together. It's really hard to fit the whole blanket in here, but it's really big. I feel like I'm gonna have to do what Connie did, only I'm gonna have to call Johnny in here to hold it up, because he's the one that's he's the one that's over 6 feet, and he might be able to hold it up for me. But I don't know how to turn the camera back around. JJ. Let's see if we can't get him to hold it up for us. Do me a favor. Hold this blanket up, please. Just hold it up. And I'm going to turn the camera around and see if I can't get it. Let me see if I can get it. Just stay where you are. Kind of come down with it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do this. And that. Okay, you can put it down. All right. I hope y'all got that. I didn't give nobody a headache. Put it on slow for a minute so y'all can see it. But what had happened was, if you're just new and tuning in, I had loom knit a bunch of panels with scrap yarn with the intention of doing enough that I could stitch them together. And then I finally clicked how to crochet. And so I did stitch what I had in panels together, but they were uneven. So I've evened them up for the most part with crochet. And now they're long enough all to put together, but they're not wide enough for a blanket. So now I have to go back and make it wider with crochet. And then try to put a border or something on it. I don't know. But it's just going to be one of those projects where when someone needs a blanket and desperately needs a blanket, they here, use this blanket. No one else wants to use it. But you need a blanket and you're cold. So here. Well, we affectionately call it Franken blanket. Excuse me. COVID making a resurgence, I hope not, but allergies nonetheless. Oh, that was bad. Pardon me. Forgive me, y'all. Oh. Probably time for a breathing treatment. It's been one of those kind of days. But, so I only have 2 whips right now. The wrap and Franken blanket. And when I get one of them, I don't know. I really want to start on that baby blanket because I know that's going to take me a while. And I want to do it in that stitch that I found from Tiffany Hanson's video that, oh man, it was so pretty. It was so pretty. And she advised to do it in a solid color. And I was like, okay. But, because the girl that I know that's having a baby in May, she's having a boy. And boy, do I have plenty of blue yarn. But I don't have enough in one shade of blue to do that blanket. Because she said you need almost 2,500 yards to do that blanket. But I have some Pound of Love, some Lion Brand Pound of Love yarn in different shades of blue. So I may just do it in shades of blue, and it's still a solid color, but it'll be different shades of blue. I think that'll be just fine. I think that'll be fine. But I can always do it on a smaller scale. It doesn't have to be the full as big a blanket as she did. I can always condense it down a little bit and do it a little smaller, I think. I forget how much I think it was a fairly decent sized blanket. And I probably can condense it down and just use that particular stitch and just make it a little bit smaller. That's what I'm thinking. Because this is for a baby. So, I think it'd be really pretty as a baby blanket. And then make it as a regular bed blanket later on. Because it was a simple stitch, but it was just so pretty. It was like, you do your regular chain. How many? I think she chained like 156. But then but the stitches was 155 when she turned it to work. And then it was like single crochet 5, and then double crochet in the back loop 5, and then single crochet 5, and then double crochet in the back loop 5. And that was the repeat. It was just like that through the whole thing. But it made this beautiful little pattern. It was just so pretty, and it was so simple, and I was just like, and it would, even for a beginner like me, it was easy for me to follow. So I was like, I think I can handle that part. Once you do, I figured once that I did it about 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 rows into it, I'd have it down. But I'll probably watch that tutorial a couple more times before I, go off the deep end on it. But I think a couple of those Pounds of Love should make it big enough for a baby blanket. At least, maybe even one. I'll just have to do some more research and determine, if I want to, how many chains do I need for a baby blanket, and because it needs to be like, if I'm not, correct me in the comments if I'm mistaken, but it seems like it's a multiple of 5, because you got 5 double crochets and 5 in the back loop, and then 5 single crochets. So that to me seems like it's in a multiple of 5 or a multiple of 10, something like that. I may be totally off, but that's my understanding of what it is. But it seemed pretty easy to follow. But to me, it would seem like it was a multiple of 5, since it was 155 stitches that she ended up with. So that makes sense to me. But I don't need that big a blanket. So that's why I'm thinking maybe 1.5 or 2 pounds of love should do the trick. And I think it's not going to matter if I use a different shade of blue, because I don't have 2 the same color. I do have 2 light blue red heart jumbos, but I just don't want to use the red heart for a baby blanket. The Pound of Love is so much softer. I just rather use that. It's so much softer. I don't have any I have to look. I might have something that's comparable, but I think it's in a polyester. I'll just have to look. I have some other stuff, but I don't know that I have enough for a baby blanket in that particular yarn. I don't know. I have to look. But because I think I'm going to need at least 1,500 yards for a baby blanket, at least. For the regular baby bed, But baby Ryan should be appearing in May, and since I've been praying for her to be able to carry him to terms, because she done miscarried twice before, little girls that she lost, and this time it's a boy, and so far, so good. This is as long as she's been able to carry one. So, good Lord willing, come May, we'll have us a little boy. I'm just so happy for her. This is if you follow my channel, this is the girl that I gave the looms and the yarn to back last year and got her started looming. And recently, I took her a bag of yarn that was mostly like baby blanket yarn. So that she could make her baby a blanket. This stuff out of my stash that I didn't think I would use, I bagged up and took to her, so that she could make her baby a blanket or whatever she wanted to do with it. But I needed to condense stuff down and for this move, and she, doesn't have her own income, and they don't have a whole lot of extra disposable income for yarn, so it's just better to give her, and I love to give, and better than I do get sometimes. So I just wanted her to have what she needed so that she could make her own baby something. And I'm sure she's very talented and easy to catch on stuff. So I have no doubt that she's probably made lots of things for her baby by now. But I'm definitely gonna. I may make him a couple of blankets, because I kind of wanted to loom him up one with the ally stitch, and then I wanted to crochet him one too. So I may do him 2 blankets, because I'm kind of the adopted aunt. So, and I don't have any grandbabies, so probably won't have any grandbabies for a long time. So I just have to settle for being auntie. And I do actually have a great nephew that I'll hopefully be able to meet at some point. He's almost 4. And I still haven't met him. His little name is Christian. He is my sister's daughter's son. And I've only seen pictures of him. And my mama gets to babysit him sometimes. But I'm going to probably make him something. My mom will have to... I'll have to give it to my mom, and then my mom will have to give it to him like she made it or something, or else my sister will probably throw it out. Who knows? She hates me because her life is not my life. She's always hated me because she thought I had a better life than her. I must made better choices than her, that's all. But, and I raised my children. The state didn't raise my children. Anyway, family drama, we all have it, right? Anyway, I hope all is well with all of you. I'm sorry that I'm not my bubbly self today. I'm been struggling with a bit of depression, and I'm trying to do better, but it's just really hard. I've just been in a funk these past several days, and I'm trying to bring myself out. I am. I just don't know, I just have this big mound of work ahead of me, and it just seems very insurmountable at times. Like, like I just don't know how I'm going to get through it all. How am I going to get it through all that? But I'll just pray, and if y'all don't mind, if y'all remember me when you pray. Moving is stressful. Even the thought of moving is stressful. And you couple that with me and my oldest son being so much alike and having similar personalities, and he don't want to admit that we do, but we do. We have very similar personality types. We both are a little bit control freak. And he was trying to control the flow of information, thinking that it would overwhelm me to know more than I did, and I was trying to explain to him I need to know all the information, so that if I know the information, then I know, I could be more calm. He doesn't get it, but oh well. he let me know more about the situation this evening, and that helped. So I'm a little better off than I was. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. By the way, please adopt a dog. Don't buy a dog. Your best friend is at the shelter. And don't pet wildlife. I saw something somewhere where I think it was, I don't know, but if you see wildlife out that needs help, don't touch it. Call a wildlife agent. Just don't touch it. If you see a wild animal that's hurt, just try to make sure that nobody else messes with it, and call a wildlife agent. Do not try to help it. Do not try to pick it up. Do not try to save it. Just call a wildlife agent, because you don't know what kind of diseases that animal has. And if it's a baby animal and its mother has put it there and gone off to get food and to come back and get it, and then you touch it and she smells you on her baby, she won't touch her baby anymore. So don't mess with it. If you're not a professional, don't mess with it. Sorry. I just feel kind of strongly about that. I just seen a lot of times where, wildlife dies because of human intervention, and that's just bad. So kind of, think wildlife should be just left alone. But anyhow, I hope y'all have a better night, and I hope this week is better than last week. Bye now.